Oh, well, congratulations on the film. Your hair looks a bit different, by the way.
It does, the dreads
Like,
are gone.
really enjoyed it. It seemed very light and frothy on the surface, but actually there was a whole layer underneath that was a lot more sort of thoughtful and more
Mm.
serious. And it's your first feature film, isn't it?
Yes, I was still in drama school when this amazing adventure was
Really?
thrust upon me.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Well, even more so. I mean, I know you've done a few short films and
yeah.
you've done some theatre work as well, but your first feature film, with that's a big step for you. So, what attracted you to the film and to playing Kofi?
I think the, it was portraying the migrant experience in a way that isn't usually portrayed. You know, someone who has experienced a lot of hardship, someone who has literally wears the scars of their past and is trying to move past it, you know. And I was very aware that Kofi is not a character that you see in the canon of Black characters on screen. You know, a lot of Black narratives are tinged with a lot of trauma, you know, or seeped in it, you know. But it was nice just to be on a beach and talk about how the hat was cool and chuck sand on Lucy's back and like, you know, just have fun, you know. I think it's so important to explore joy within the midst of struggle, you know. And yes, we could have done the really dramatic version where it's having flashbacks and it's all really and gritty, but sometimes you just want to see someone overcoming something, you know. And yes, there were moments where he still stumbled and fell when things didn't go to plan, but I think we need hope. You know, we really need hope. And I think the story is full of hope, and it really attracted me to it.
And sometimes you don't actually need to see that, because I think what we see in the film is enough to tell us what's
Mm.
what's going on underneath. Did you do any research into immigrants who are, trying to make a new life for themselves?
Yeah, I watched so many documentaries, and I mapped out from Senegal imaginatively. So as I was researching, I was imagining myself. So when I realized where he was from, I did research about his culture and, you know, being Fulani and all of these things, and said, okay, cool. So if he's from this country, he would have been most likely to have taken that route. So I found documentaries about people, you know, encountering smugglers, walking through the desert, you know, literally like some of their sandals melting, you know, the modern day slavery that's going on in a lot of countries and how people are kind of captured mid-transition to Europe. And tried to put myself in the psychological shoes of the situations, so to speak, until in my preparation I'd reached Europe. So that when I then looked at the script at the point at which we meet Kofi, I had the weight of his prior journey, you know, his previous life. I had to be alive on the inside of me when I was in a place where I've overcome it and I'm now trying to learn English as a second language, and maybe I want a girlfriend and all of these things, you know. But the research was it was harrowing, a lot of it, you know, because you see the news stories and it's tragic. And then you find the more obscure documentaries about it and they show you the things that they can't show on the news, you know. And you're kind of in disbelief that in 2018, when I was researching for this part, that this was still a thing that happens, you know. And then fast forward to 2020, when there was a resurgence of it in the news, in the UK news, and then suddenly, where because of coronavirus, the rate of migrants trying to cross the English Channel had increased, and you're like, this problem seems to be never ending. You know, the solution seems to be so far out of reach. You know, so the saddest thing when I was researching was that it seemed like it was something that might not ever end. You know, and that for every single person that makes it to Europe, there's someone else about to embark on a very dangerous journey, and the percentage of people making it is super, super low, you know. But it made me admire his resolve and his humanity, even more, you know, in the face of, I want love. I deserve love. I deserve to meet somebody, you know, such an admirable character, you know.
So we mentioned your co-star, Lucy. I wondered how you got on together because you seem very relaxed together on the screen, I've got to say.
Yeah, well, we had this really great week with Ben where she flew over from France, and yeah, we rehearsed for the week, you know.
That's a
And we just,
luxury.
yeah, massive luxury. You know, I had to ask my school very politely, can I go away and rehearse this for a week? And they were like, yes, yes, you can, but
Ooh,
not don't make a thing of this. She is so easy to get on with, you know, to the point where she was hanging out with me and my housemates after rehearsals. You know, her hotel was nearby my student apartment, you know. So she didn't only become my friend, she became my friend's friends, you know. And we had this really funny, well, not funny, but the language barrier at times gave rise to a lot of humor. And I found myself on Google Translate, and she'd be like saying a word and I'd be misspelling and trying to spell it phonetically, but horribly misspelling it, you know. Went and got some Franca Manca on the high road after a while. And yeah, she's such a unique vibe. You know, I haven't met a lot of people like Lucy in my life before. I don't really know any French people until Lucy, you know. And immediately the difference in sensibility it was huge to me, and I was just taken in by it. She's so intelligent and she's so professional, and there's a tenacity to her that is so infectious. Like I felt strong around her, you know, and she's got this glint in her eye about life. Like she's always taking pictures, always fascinated about something. And she had this vintage camera that she would carry around and like take loads of pictures. So she's proper arty. And, you know, I'm at the height of drama school, you know, so anyone remotely creative to me is like heaven. Yeah, she's great. And really, really great scene partner. I could trust her. I could really trust her. I felt safe to be vulnerable with her. I felt safe. There were a lot of really nice moments of improv in the film, and I felt safe to let go into the improv in the film. And improv is something that scared me a lot at drama school. So the fact that I felt safe to do it with her was a real big testament to the safety, you know, that she provided. You know, great person to work with.
And that's marvelous. And of course, having made this film, which is comparatively small, comparatively low budget, what do you go and do? Then you go and do Wonder Woman 1984.
God is good, man.
You know, you get the full Hollywood experience, and you're working alongside one of the hottest properties in Hollywood, which of course is Pedro Pascal. So what was that like? Apart from being completely different.
It was insane. It was absolutely insane. I was pinching myself, you know, because the last time I saw him, he was getting his head crushed in Game of Thrones, and I was like, there you are, in front of me in a makeup truck. And I was so shy, and I didn't want to be like that geeky drama, because I was still a student. Like, I was still in classes, like I was still a student even when I filmed it, you know. So I was very wary that I didn't want to come across and be like, hey, so what's your process? You know, when you tell me about acting, you know.
You don't want to be the fanboy.
No, I didn't. You know, I wanted to be a colleague. You know, that was something that was actually important to me. I was like, I don't have to reach to be in this guy's presence, you know. And he was so grounded and easygoing and open. And so was Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. And even when I still say those names, I'm like, what?
You're such a name dropper.
In it, what can I say, man? But it was so great. They never patronized me. They never made me feel like I didn't know anything. Even down to the crew, you know, everyone was so respectful of the lack of experience I had and the experience I was gaining, you know. I even remember one day on set, I'd never done like a multi-cam shoot, and obviously I'd only known that maybe multi-cam was like 3 cameras, but this is like Hollywood. So there was like 5 cameras. And I just whispered to the first AD, I was like, hey man, I've never I've never seen more than like 2 cameras before. Where do I look? And he said, oh no, and he explained to me, this just makes it easy in the edit, you know, you don't have to worry about continuity, just gives you freedom. So just forget about everything and just get into it, you know. So I was able to let go, and Pedro's such a generous, embodied, passionate actor, you know. So I had room to myself then, you know, try things out. And yeah, it was such a blessing of an experience. I couldn't believe it when I actually got the call that the audition had gone my way, I think on the penultimate day of filming The Drifters.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
The penultimate day of filming The Drifters, my agent calls me and goes, hey, you know that audition you didn't think you want to get? Hello. And I went, what? You know? And Patty Jenkins, she's a marvel. You know, she really is. She loves what she does, and it's infectious. I even had my birthday. I turned 22 on the set of Wonder Woman.
Oh wow.
You know, so that
did
was
you get
like,
a
I
cake?
wanted. No, they sang happy birthday to me though, which was better than
Okay.
any cake I ever could have eaten in my life. You know, so many special moments doing Wonder Woman, and then they invited me to do like a game with them on Zoom during the DC fandom, and I was like, me? Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, Patty's such a kind, talented, amazing woman, and everyone on that set was as well.
That's absolutely amazing. I hate to say it, but we've run out of time, which is such a
Oh
shame. I'd love
no.
to chat to you more, but thank you very much for your time. It's been lovely to meet
Thank
you, and
you.
thanks very much for the film as well.